is my president.
Vermin is my friend.
Vermin is my president.
I got a friend in Vermin.
Vermin is my president.
Vermin is my friend.
Vermin is my president.
Well, hello, everybody. It's me, Vermin Supreme from the internet. We are here with another exciting episode of Super Tuesdays. Super Tuesdays.
Super Tuesday.
It is. Is it Tuesday over there in the UK still?
Yes, it is. No, it's Wednesday now.
Aren't you all operating on a different calendar?
Yep, it's Wednesday now.
It's Wednesday now, just like that, blink of an eye. All right, well, welcome to Super Wednesdays. I'm Vermin Supreme, the show where we talk to political parties, representatives of various political parties, with the conceit that I will be looking for the party that is just right for me. So, of course, today we are blessed. We are incredibly fortunate to have with us a representative, not just a representative, but the big cheese of a major political party in the UK, or at least that's what he tells me. And so I wanted to tell you that this is, of course, Howling Laud Hope.
Howling Laud Hope.
Listen to him howl. Listen to him howl.
Howling Laud Hope.
Howling. Oh, it's Howling Laud Hope.
Howling Laud Hope.
Howling Laud Hope. Yes, thank you for the correction, sir. I should have asked for your pronunciation for my producers prior to your appearance. Howling Laud Hope.
Howling Laud.
Vermin Supreme on the same TV show on the internet. And once again, Howling Laud Hope is indeed, as I say, not merely a representative, but the representative in that he is in charge, if you will, if I understand correctly. He is the guy, the man,
leader. The party leader.
The party leader. I wanted to say leader, but I don't really practice metrics, so I wasn't sure how much a leader is. And of course, the party, an inspirational, truly a foundational party. Of course, the official monster, raving loony party. Am I correct on that? Did I pronounce that?
Yes, you did.
Oh, very good.
No.
Are we sure are you sure I don't have to stretch out loony like loony party? Howling Laud Hope of the loony. Like that?
We can't spell loony with an E because Looney Tunes in America told us off.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that a fact?
Yeah. In fact,
wow.
Apparently they told me they've got that word classified, would you believe, with an E.
They actually sent you a cease and desist letter for the spelling of L-O-N-N-E-Y.
L-O-N-E-Y.
Oh, L-O-W. Okay.
As in Looney Tunes.
Man, some people are just lawsuit happy. Am I right?
Yeah. When I pointed out to them that we have never used the E in it, and we've always been L-O-O-N-Y, but the people who don't know that often spell it with the E, but we don't.
So they were coming after you based on Google searches. It sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow. So Laud Hope, Laud Hope. Please, tell the American people, what is the Monster Raving Loony Party? Where did it come from? How did it start? What does it stand for?
Well, many years ago, in 1963 it was, a gang of us started out the National Teenage Party, and we were campaigning in England for votes 18 because you couldn't vote till you were 21, but you could be called up to national service and being given a gun to go abroad to shoot somebody, but you couldn't vote till you were 21. We thought that was wrong, and we kept on to the government about
why did you think that was wrong?
Well, they give you a gun to shoot somebody, but you can't vote until you're 21.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And so the government took notice in the end and they changed it to change it to 18. Another thing we campaigned for in England was passports for pets. Would you believe? People said, "Don't be so loony. Passports for pets."
Passports for pets? That makes a lot of sense to me. I could stand behind that.
Why couldn't you have take your dog to the vet, have him inoculated, take him abroad to Europe maybe, bring him back after 2 weeks without going through 6 weeks quarantine? Don't be so loony, but they're doing it now. We do get things changed. We also campaign.
True. I mean, I think people would think that passports for pets was a patently ridiculous idea, but here it is, where it has essentially become a bureaucratic reality.
Yes, it has. Yes.
Sure.
We also campaigned, would you believe, for recognition for the Beatles. Didn't expect them to become sirs, but some of them did.
Yeah, indeed. So it's very
even now, Sir Tom Jones, Sir Rod Stewart, Sir Elton John thank the Loony Party for bringing that forward for the Beatles, because they're all sirs now.
Well, I do thank the Raving Loony Party for that. Indeed. Thank goodness that happened before the Queen croaked. Bless her. God bless the Queen, yes. But yes.
And then later on, it was in that 1963 by-election. I think you said to me earlier on, before we ever started the show, can we mention prostitutes?
I did indeed mention prostitutes, yeah.
Purely
in passing. Purely in passing.
Okay. It was in that 1963 by-election in Stratford-on-Avon. It was the Profumo affair with Christine Keeler, who was a well-known madam, if you like, and he got thrown out. That's the first time Screaming Lord Sutch, who was our spiritual leader, first stood for the National Teenage Party, and he always blamed prostitution for him getting into politics.
Nice. Yes, talk more about Lord Sutch.
Well, Lord Sutch was a rock and roll singer, and he was called Screaming Lord Sutch, obviously. He took the name from Screaming Jay Hawkins, actually.
I was going to guess that because his theatrics were very similar in a sense. It was that type. It was a very small number of people doing it, but it was like full on shock theater rock and roll, sort of like what eventually turned into Alice Cooper many years later.
Alice Screaming Lord Sutch sued Alice Cooper for copying his act.
Aha! I did not know that.
But it was a set up between them. They made lots of publicity out of it.
Oh, nice.
And it was the Conservative candidate in the Stoke-on-Trent by-election, or was it Stratford-on-Avon? One of the two, anyway. Stratford-on-Avon, I believe. He was asked, "What do you think of the policy of Screaming Lord Sutch?" And he said, "They're nothing more than the rantings of a raving loony." Well, years later, when all our ideas become on the statute books, we called ourselves the Loony Party. We called ourselves the Raving Loony Party, and we called ourselves the official monster Raving Loony Party. Monster, nothing to do with Dracula or Frankenstein, as people think. Monster was to do with the biggest party in Great Britain. Who do you think is the biggest party in Great Britain?
The Monster Raving Loony Party?
No. Who do you think is?
Let's see.
I'll tell you who's the biggest party in Great Britain. Those that don't vote at all.
The apathy party.
Yes. So if all those people voted for us, we'd win. And that is the Monster Party. And we call ourselves the official Monster Raving Loony Party, not to be confused with the unofficial parties like Labour, Conservative and Liberal.
Eat dirt, you other political parties.
Yes, we are here.
Get used to it.
Now, in 1982, on June the 16th, which is my birthday, funny enough.
Happy birthday.
I owned a big hotel in Devon. And Screaming Lord Sutch turned up one day, and we talked. It was June the 16th, 1982, that we formed the official Monster Raving Loony Party. So we've been going since 1982.
Nice.
Next year will be our soon be our 25th year, won't it? I think, yeah, 40th year.
Wow. Time
Anyway.
flies.
Anyway, would you believe?
Not for a second.
You know, Screaming Lord Such is not with us anymore, don't you?
I do. Rest his soul.
Well, unfortunately, he got too much of him, and he committed suicide. But he was found dead on June the 16th, 1999, the same day we started the party. Now, that would never have crossed his mind, a sheer coincidence.
I would imagine.
Yeah, sheer coincidence.
That's very sad because Screaming Lord Such was certainly quite a talented and bombastic performer and communicator. He
couldn't sing to save his life. You couldn't call him Singing Lord Such. He had to be called Screaming Lord Such.
True. I mean, very, very punk, and it's in his ethos. Why should lack of talent prevent any of us from doing what we love?
He was the original punk rocker. We always told him that. He and another English artist called Wee Willie Harris. They were the original punk rockers way back in the late 50s, early 60s, before Johnny Rotten and the Sex Pistols ever come along.
Oh, that was a boy band.
Yeah, of course it was. And anyway, we've been going ever since 1999. I became the party leader because I was the deputy leader and chairman before then, and
Congratulations.
I've been the party leader ever since. I've now done 23 years, and I am Britain's longest-serving party political leader.
Is there any way to unseat you short of actually killing you?
Assassinating me?
Yes, sir. It was just a thought. I'm not suggesting it by any means.
Yes, there is a way of unseating me if I want to unseat myself.
Very good. Or if somebody pulled the chair out from under you when you went to sit down, maybe?
There's nobody else in the room with me. How can that happen?
You're very lucky. You're a very wise man.
So anyway, yes, I've been the leader for 23 years. I've actually stood in 32 parliamentary elections.
Wow.
And 9 of those have been general elections, which, in American terms, I've stood 9 times for president.
That is very impressive, and I need to ask about ballot access laws in the UK in the races you've run, because here in America, in a lot of places, they make it very prohibitive, near impossible to run unless you are in a major party. So how did you find yourself how did you get on the ballots?
We are a major party. We are signed up with the Electoral Commission. We are a legitimate party. Same as Labour, Conservative and Liberal.
Really? And so and now do you have to continually get a certain number of votes to maintain that? How do you maintain that level?
In a parliamentary election, we have to pay a £500 deposit, and we have to get 5% of the votes of the turnout to get our deposit back. And we have never ever done that. If anybody ever done that, we'd have to shut them out of the party for not being loony enough.
So wait a minute. So you're saying that you haven't qualified, but they put you on the ballot anyway?
Yes.
Who makes that decision? Like the vote, the electoral board?
The Electoral Commission, yes.
And although that is really amazing to me, because here in the States it is extremely difficult for anybody out of the mainstream to get anywhere near being on the ballot. That just it blows me away. But I like it very much, and I think that's certainly the way that it should be. And of course, that is part of what my candidacy has always addressed. Why aren't I on the ballot? And that's very cool.
In the last by-election I've just done in Uxbridge, which is Boris Johnson's old seat, there were 17 candidates. One or two you have heard of, but I won't mention their name, but there were 17 candidates.
Yes.
I didn't win, but I kept up the party tradition of not coming last.
Yay! Fantastic. And another thing that I really like about the UK election, apparently, is that all the candidates get to stand up while the votes are being counted or when the winner's announced. And so then you have, Theresa May standing next to Mr. Fishstick and like really just wild. Mr. Fish. I stand corrected. Here in the States, we would call him Mr. Fishstick. Fish finger, of course. Because
or Elmo, or myself.
Or Elmo, or yourself, or Lord Buckethead. I mean, those are just great, crazy candidates. And just to physically, I mean, they're similar in the fact that it's like why I wear the boot on my head, just to make it so far from reality that it clashes so hard, and it makes such an amazing contrast that it's a beautiful thing, and it humbles the freaking actual politicians because they are being put in this position where it's like you are equal to this guy and that girl and this fish stick. And that's where we place you. We're not putting you up on a pedestal. You are equal to this lunacy.
When we turn up to elections, the media, the newspapers, whoever, they always say to me or say to us, "Well, thank God you're here. At least it won't be so boring. It's not a real election unless you're here." They tell us that. They told me that last week.
I believe it. You have become and managed to create yourselves as this fixture, as part of the tapestry, much as I have here in the U.S., just in terms of inserting ourselves and our surly attitudes and our really out there platform proposals. And yet it is such a contrast to the standard politicians and the business as usual that it becomes the media cannot resist it. It becomes an irresistible thing.
Now, before we go any farther,
yes, Father.
My book, The Great White Hope.
The Great White Hope.
Now,
Yes.
My name is Alan Hope, obviously.
Okay.
And I dress in a white suit.
Okay.
I've called it The Great White Hope.
Okay. It's not a racial thing.
No, not a race at all. My name is Alan Hope. I'm dressed in a white suit.
Thank you.
It's called The Great White Hope. There it is there. Can I get it on the screen somewhere?
Yes.
There it is. The
There
life
it is.
and times
Okay.
of Alan, Howling Laud Hope. Now, they can be got on Amazon. In Great Britain, I can post them, but if anybody abroad wants one, it's best to buy it on Amazon because the postage is too much. There's a page of 30 odd pages. It mentions the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, Rod Stewart, all sorts of. I was a rock and roll singer. That's how I met Screaming Lord Sutch in the first place.
Oh, you were. Would you like to sing us a song? And of course, I was looking for my book. I don't know, but of course, since we're promoting books, I'll promote mine. It might not be totally fair because it's my show, but this is called iPony, Blueprint for a New America, and it is also available on Amazon. So no household bookshelf should be without The Great White Hope by Howling Laud Hope or iPony by Vermin Supreme. You can't say you're well read unless you've read these books. And mine has a lot of pictures in it. And does your book have any pictures?
Loads of pictures.
Excellent.
That's me and George Galloway. I'm very
All
well
right. Nice. Were you hitting him with a stick there? It looked like
No, not necessarily a stick.
a magic wand, perhaps.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Let me see what else I can find quickly. Yeah, there's
Oh, please.
lots of stories, lots of pictures in here.
I like pictures. I'll show some of my pictures while you're looking for some of yours. Oh yeah.
Hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. I thought you were going to sing us a rock and roll song.
I was going to sing you one, was I?
I could sing a song. My name is Vermin. I like a pony. And if you don't like it, well, you can blow me. I braid her mane. I can't complain. The way that pony makes me feel is driving me insane. Oh, we have a picture. All right. It's a little hard to see.
The little picture at the top, the guy sat on the amplifier, is me when I was 18 years old. And underneath is the Beatles on the same stage.
Nice. Wow. You know they have Photoshop where you can put your picture right in with the Beatles now.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
But you could. Wow. Well,
way down Louisiana, close to New Orleans, way back up in the woods amongst the evergreens, instead of a log cabin made of earth and wood, where lives a country boy named Johnny Be Good. He never ever learned to read or write so well. He could play a guitar just like the ringing a bell. Go, go,
go,
Johnny, go,
go, go, go,
go, Johnny, go,
go, go,
Johnny, go, go, Johnny, go, go,
Johnny, go, go, Johnny Be Good. Wow! He carried his guitar and it got his sock. Oh yes, thank you, Howling Laud Hope. Here we Howling Laud Hope. It's Super Tuesday. I'm sorry, what was that?
Was it Coffin Lord Hope
now? What else should we? Oh, okay. Here we have a question from Thomas Bogazuski. If you had to replace one of the Beatles with yourself, which one would it be?
Oh, blimey. I think I'd have to become the fifth Beatle.
The fifth Beatle. Peter Best? You would be Pete Best.
No, I don't think so.
You would be George Martin, because George Martin was the fifth.
I can't play the drums.
What if? George Martin was the fifth Beatle, so you would be George Martin?
Yeah, fine. I'd be anything.
All right, okay, that was a walk.
To be quite honest with you,
I think you'd be a really good. You'd be a really good Paul McCartney, I think.
To be very, very honest with you, I wasn't really a really 100% Beatles fan. I wasn't, no.
No?
No, not really. They wrote some good songs, wrote some good music, but to me, it wasn't rock and roll. They came in riding on the back of the old rock and rollers like Little Richard, Larry Williams, and all the rest of them. And then in the end, they saw them off, didn't they? They killed rock and roll as we know it, I thought.
Interesting. So they created this whole new genre that was
they created a whole new thing in the 60s, which wasn't necessarily rock and roll. That's all I'm saying. Sir,
that is an extremely controversial position. I hope it does not create a firestorm for you and the Monster Raving Loony party.
It was only my opinion, that's all.
As you know, there are many rabid Beatles fans.
William just said a boy band.
They were also a boy band, indeed.
Yes, that's what he's saying.
Yes, that was the Velvet Underground for all purposes, I guess, and the Sex Pistols for sure. And we know about the Monkees. Totally know about the Monkees. We're on to them. And don't get me started on NSYNC.
I do.
All right. So, tell me about the time that you met the Queen.
So I met the Queen.
The
Freddie
time,
Mercury.
the time that you met the Queen, yeah.
The Queen? I've never met the Queen. I met
You-
Freddie
you-
Mercury.
Oh, I'm sorry. My producers misinformed me. Tell me about the time that you met King
I
Charles.
I met Prince William.
You met Prince Williams. Okay. Do tell. Dish.
He was stationed at Sandhurst College whilst he was in the army. And I don't live far from there, a place called Fleet in Old Hampshire, which I believe you live in New Hampshire.
True.
I live in Old Hampshire, a place called Fleet. And he was having a night out with the boys on somebody's birthday. They were in a local restaurant. And I happened to walk in there, and he was there, and I spoke to him, and I gave him a membership form for the Monster Raving Loony Party. So when he becomes king, he'll remember me.
No doubt. No doubt. And Rod Weber has a question. What is your policy regarding the Beatles' use of artificial intelligence? I think it's a trick question. Rod Weber is a very tricky individual.
Artificial intelligence. Some people say if you play the record backwards, there was a message there, but I've never known that.
Yes, I like to play all of my records backwards just in case. You just can't tell in this day and age. What? Give me a few more of the wacky candidates. I mean, you've got Mr. Fishfinger, you've got Elmo.
The flying brick.
The flying brick. You have the flying brick.
Yeah, he's my treasurer.
The flying brick is your treasurer.
And Baron von Thunderclap is the party secretary, the membership secretary.
Now, does this flying brick have wings?
He pretends to be. He's my minister for abolishing gravity.
Great.
Oh, okay. Grit or brick? Grit.
Brick. B-R-I-C-K. Brick.
That's what I thought. My wife is telling me you said Brit, B-R-I-T, and I'm like, no, he's saying brick. So a flying brick, the type of brick that would fly through a window.
If you like, yeah. A house brick.
A house. It sounds very some sort of like loony. It sounds very loony, very punk, and very anarchistic.
He got the name at school. He's a very, very tall lad with long legs. And he was a good runner. And so
Okay.
he got nicknamed the Flying Brick.
That's a pretty funny nickname for somebody who runs fast, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
Wow, cool. And please do tell us some more of the platforms that the Monster Raving Loony Party has taken over the years that are not necessarily reality based.
Well, if you go to, I can't remember them all offhand right now because I've not got them written down in front of me. But if you go to loonyparty.com, they're all on there. You can see all of them.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of things people can read. Loonyparty.com, you can actually press the button at the top, get involved, and you can become a member. And you can download a membership form and send it in, and you can become a member. Now, wouldn't it be great to have the official Monster Raving Loony Party in the United States?
Yes, it would.
In every state, eh?
I believe that I have seen several Monster Raving Loony parties scattered throughout the U.S.
Yes, you have. In Florida, in Tallahassee. The mayor of Tallahassee is the leader. There you are.
Ooh. Oh, okay, yeah. So the Monster Raving Loony Party is essentially slowly attempting to reverse the American Revolution through sneaky electoral means. Would that be accurate, sir?
We're going to go to America and claim our colonies back.
Well, will you stop at the colonies? I believe that's what many Americans are wondering.
Would Miss Hope be willing to play Boss Hogg in my woke remake of The Dukes of Hazzard? Rod Webber, Dumpster
Yes.
Fire Emporium.
Yes.
Boss Hogg was my hero, hence the white suit.
Wow. Very good. Very wonderful. So, let's hear like a Southern accent. Let's hear how you might sound as Boss Hogg.
Eat us, you dipstick. Leave us alone. Me and Flash in hot pursuit of them Duke boys. Hot pursuit. Hot pursuit.
You are hired. You don't mind if we just scan that and feed it into the artificial intelligence machine. That way you don't have to do anything else, and we don't have to pay you. Is that fair?
Fine. Whatever you want to do.
Excellent. Wonderful. Who are some of your other cinematic or television heroes?
Obviously James Cagney, I think.
James Cagney. I bet you do a James Cagney because you're of a certain age. Do a James Cagney for us.
I can't talk like him at all. But
Really?
I'll tell you what.
All you can do is say, "Yeah, you dirty rat, like that, right?
Apparently he never said that. Chew rat, you dirty rat.
Yeah, I knew you could do it.
But he was a hell of a tap dancer, you know. Not many people know that.
He was a Yankee Doodle dandy,
Yes,
born on the 4th of July.
Yeah. Very good. There's a video I've seen of him and Bob Hope dancing across a dining room table. Absolutely wonderful. Tap dancing.
Oh, I bet. Nice. Hey, did you ever bang Dame Edna?
No.
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 She seemed really nice. Yeah, she was really hot. I really appreciated her work. All right, I thought I was going to get you with that one. But what else? What is your biggest victory in your mind? What do you believe was the greatest success of the Monster Raving Loony Party?
When I lived in Devon, a town called Ashburton in England, I became a town councillor in 1983. I owned a big hotel, and I was a town councillor for 13 years.
And
1988, 1999, and the year 2000, I became the town mayor, chairman of the
Wow!
and lord of the borough, all on a Loony Party ticket.
Wonderful. So that's a real electoral win. That is that's fantastic. I think that's more success than the Libertarian Party has here in America.
Probably is. Now, I've since left that town. As I said, now gone back home to Hampshire.
Did you leave on good circumstances, or did they run you out on a rail with the proverbial tar and feather?
No, I owned a big hotel down there, and I sold up when my wife became ill. I came back home to Hampshire.
Oh, nice.
Now I live in Fleet, I told you, and I'm on the town council here. I've been on the town council here for 13 years, and I have been chairman of planning. I'm vice chairman at the moment, and I've also been chairman of highways and transport. Do you know why? They love it because I get the job done.
Now that is impressive. Unlike some comedians that get elected to office, Zelensky. I joke, of course, but yeah, no, that's good. Huh? And who else? Any other notable candidates that have actually been elected under the OMRLP?
Yeah, Freddie Zapp was a DJ. He became a town councillor down in Cornwall. We've got Baron von Thunderclap is currently a councillor in Sussex. In fact,
answer me this: Baron von Thunderclap, for example, are you able to get whatever name you are using in your, even if it's made up, on the ballot? Is that how it will appear?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Get out of here.
That's
Seriously?
right. Yes.
You just so you can just go up and tell them anything?
No, it's got to come through the nominations officer of the party, which I am
Okay.
as well.
So
So
if you're
I am-
nominated, if the nominating party is willing to go along with whatever you want to call yourself, that will carry. Wow.
I have to fill in a form with your name. And,
My name?
Yeah, whatever you want to call yourself, like also known as Vermin Supreme, and that will be the name on the ballot paper.
Yes. Well, of course, in my case, Vermin Supreme is my legal name. I actually.
Right.
Yes.
But you see what I mean?
Absolutely.
If you were John Smith and you want to be Vermin Supreme, it can be done in England.
Okay. All right. Now, answer me this question, if you know the answer. Would I guess it's in terms of residency requirements for such an operation? Let's say some random American citizen wanted to, get their name on the ballot somewhere in the UK. Can't do it. Can't do it. Oh, okay. My devious wheels have stopped spinning. Okay. Had me going there for a minute. However, if I were to move to the UK, then it would be another game, another ball game. Okay, that's a thought. Or if I said that I lived in your basement, would that work? Do you think?
We could probably get away with that.
Okay, maybe we could try that. Maybe. Okay, well, these are certainly things to think about. Certainly things to think about. Wow. This is just an amazing part. Oh. So, what do you like to do for fun?
Go to the pub.
Go to the pub?
Yeah.
What's your best pub? What's your local pub you go to?
It's part of the Wetherspoons chain. A pub called the Prince Arthur.
Prince Harbor, nice. And beer? You're all about the beer?
Beer's good. Yeah, beer's always good.
Yeah. Well, except in the UK, it's all warm and flattish, right?
No, it's not. Oh no, it's not.
You can get cold beer there.
You may have gone to a bad pub if you say that.
Okay, I think so. There's a lot of rumors swirling around here in America about Brits, and a lot of them are very negative stereotypes, including flat beer. So I'm glad to hear that is not always the case.
No, not at all. Sometimes the head's too big. You have to start to top it up.
Right. Wow. Okay. All right. And fish and chips and you eat that stuff. Do you eat anything else there other than that?
Fish and chips.
Yeah.
Is that what the Americans think? We all eat fish and chips.
That's what I hear. That's what they tell me. That you all eat fish fingers, or as we call them, sticks.
No. I like a good Indian, a good Asian meal. Personally. Yep. Yes, I've had fish and chips in my life. Of course I have. And when Americans come to England, they always have fish and chips. What about that?
Yeah. Now talk about those the guards at Buckingham Palace and they wear those big hats and what's that all about? If you didn't know any better, you would think that they were members of the Monster Raving Loony Party with those hats, for example.
You talked about the yeomen, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. They could be members of the Loony Party, couldn't they? Quite easily.
With those hats.
It's a very, very old tradition. The beef eaters.
Yes, the beef eaters. That's it.
Very, very old tradition. It's never been rescinded. There's lots of things like that. Lots of things like that in America. I
like it. I saw a video on Twitter or now X the other day where some of those beef eaters just plowed down the tourists. The tourists got in their way, and it was just like the buffalo. They just like got run over. It was yeah.
Yeah. Must be doing something wrong somewhere. No, no.
Hey, what kind of membership does the Monster Raving Loony Party claim to have?
All over the world, 332,321.
And how many sustaining members? How many members send you donations?
I'm not sure. I'm not the party secretary. I can't tell you that.
Okay, fair enough. That is a very fair dodge. I appreciate that, sir. You are indeed.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What I will tell you is when Screaming Lord Such was alive, he'd walk around with little membership cards, and if you just said hello to him in the street, he'd give you a membership card, and they become a member automatically, and we've never rescinded that. So to be quite honest, I don't really know exactly how many we have got, but what I will tell you, the ones that I do know of, mostly are Brits, expats living in Canada, Australia, New Zealand, India, South Africa, and we've even got a big following in Argentina, in Patagonia. Would you believe?
I would believe it.
Do you know why? Because
I'm afraid to speculate.
That's where the Welsh settled years ago.
Ah, very good. Very good. Now, do you still give members a little card that says they are members?
Yep, we do, yeah. And badges like I've got on now. And they get a rosette, not as big as this.
Mm-hmm.
You can't see my badges, can you? Not really.
Not so much. Please show us your badges. Oh, okay.
See the top one there? It says Vote Loony, it's Donald Trump.
Very good. Yes, Donald Trump is definitely a loony, and he is a monster, and he is known for raving. All of those things. That's for sure.
I personally quite like Donald Trump. In fact, there's a lot of us in England. We was telling you we felt quite safe in England when Donald Trump was in charge of America.
Really?
Yeah, because we felt that he had a bit of English in him because he owned a golf club in Scotland. So we just felt that way. Yeah.
Well, you certainly do have an ocean between you and he, so I guess you are very lucky in that account. And you are a little safer with that Atlantic Ocean right there, like you have it. Do you have any plans to change that?
I'll tell you what. Instead of us actually getting into a state over Europe, I think England or Great Britain should become the 51st state of America.
Now that is something that I could get behind. That is certainly something that I could promote on this side. I think that you could find yourself getting in a little bit of hot water on your side, proposing such a thing. However, perhaps that now that Brexit is a thing, now that Brexit has Brexited, maybe they're ready to Brenter someplace new like U.S. So
when your American airplanes were bombing the Middle East a year ago, Iran and Iraq, or whatever they were doing, them planes never took off from America. They took off from England, from Mildenhall and Lakenheath, the American bases in England. We've always been an aircraft carrier for America, basically. That's a general bone of contention, really, amongst a lot of people.
Well, I'm glad to hear that it is a bone of contention, and that you do take issue with foreign military bases on your sovereign territory and all that stuff. That's a very real concern, and it's certainly one from the real world. And I imagine that the Monster Raving Loony Party does it take stands on such things, or does it totally make its commentary through satirical statements?
Through satirical. Some of these things I'm telling you now are just my idea in my own mind.
Sure, just between you and me, it will go no further.
They're not party policy at all.
Yes, understood. We're just talking.
Just see something up here now. The other thing we would advocate is because we are the biggest island that Europe has got.
Good point.
We would insist that we become a tax haven for the whole of Europe. The Channel Islands and the Isle of Man, which are our tax havens, our little islands, would be our satellite islands. If we became the tax haven for Europe, we'd own Europe without them owning us.
Now that is a very clever and astute policy item right there. It makes a whole lot of sense.
That's loony, that's what they tell me.
That's pretty darn loony. And Mr. Weber, please look up sovereign citizen. I believe that will answer your questions. And tell us, what is the future of the official Monster Raving Loony Party?
To win a seat in Parliament, obviously. That's what we like to do. Whether we ever will, we don't know. But what you must also consider is our Conservative party called the Tories. They started out as a rebel party. And look where they are now. So you never know. You never know.
Truly, one never knows what the future has in store. What does the future hold in store for you? Nobody knows. That's the wonderful thing about it. So that's good. I'm liking it. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like maybe I have to look into moving into England, or maybe I have to look about renting out a post office box in the UK and pretending to have some sort of residency there, because that's a hell of a party you got there, brother. I got to tell you. Now, are you familiar with the Rhinoceros Party?
Yes. I came across to Canada years ago and formed an alliance with them.
Wow, very good. Tell me about that war, that battle.
The leader of the party, or we call himself the caretaker, was Charlie Mackenzie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was staying in Toronto at the time, and he was putting up a candidate in Burlington, Vermont, just over the border. I'll tell you who the candidate was, and you'll know him. Not many people in England do. Very famous man called Bill Spaceman Lee.
Whoa, yes, of course. The baseball player.
The left-handed chucker, Yep. He was the candidate for the Rhinoceros Party whilst I was there.
Wow. Well, that is a wonderful bit of history. Bill Spaceman Lee, and an inspiration to him all. He played a pro game on LSD or something. Was that him? Could have been.
He must be getting on a bit now, isn't he?
Yeah.
Play him, would he?
Very good. What sort of drugs does the official Monster Raving Loony Party enjoy?
None. Beer and tea.
Beer and tea, and any other legal intoxicant that they can get their hands on. Do you think the drug laws will change in the UK anytime soon?
Everybody to themselves. I've never taken drugs in my life, and people say to me, "Well, you must know about it. You in the 50s or 60s, you was a rock and roll star." Maybe I was. I never took drugs, but many of my friends did. And they're dead.
I did a lot of drugs. I've done a lot of drugs. Not a lot of hard drugs. A lot of psychedelics. When I was a kid, when I was a much younger person, and I got to tell you, they did inform me. They did change my perception of reality, and really, they made me who I am today. Somebody who is not afraid to be really silly, crazy, and talk about nonsense on the streets. Now, of course, you are a shining example that one does not need drugs to be a silly person, and so that's gives me hope too.
I've taken paracetamol.
That's aspirin or something over there, right? That's like aspirin.
Yeah,
I don't think
same sort of thing.
We don't take that over there. That's not something that Americans do not take.
Paracetamol.
Paracetamol, yeah. The only reason I know it is because it's a lyric in an old Gang of Four song. Yeah. That's the only time I've heard it. And what's the greatest rock and roll acts currently these days that you like?
These days?
Yes, these days.
There isn't any, is there? There isn't any, is there?
Yeah. Rock is dead. Punk is dead.
I can't name one.
Culture is dead. There is no culture anymore. It's all dead.
my one of the bands I liked quite recently was an English band called Dire Straits.
Okay.
And I think the last real rock and roll band we had was probably Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Okay. The old school, classic rock.
Yeah.
I will say that Dire Straits certainly had that their first monster hit was truly a beautiful satirical take on consumer culture. I want my MTV, and just amazing commentary in that song. I remember the video and I remember it well. So kudos to Dire Straits for that song in particular. I mean, they do a lot of other good stuff, but
I'm very, very. Yes, I did like Tony Bennett.
Tony Bennett. I beat Tony Bennett apparently. Yes,
That's just come up now. Did you like Tony Bennett? Yes.
Yes. Yes. Wow, it looks like we got a lot of.
I'm heavily into country music as well, which I said earlier on. My favourite place in the world is Nashville, Tennessee. I love it there.
Oh, nice. Would you annex it if you could?
Would I? Sorry.
Would you annex it? Take it over?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind coming and living there for a couple of years, but there you are. Whether I will or not.
Yes, we should definitely work more on this invasion plan of the United States of America by the monster Raving Loony party. I believe that I could probably freely become a traitor for your cause, sir.
Of course you can. Of course you can. I'm sure you can.
I think so.
Can I put it around that perhaps maybe you'll join us?
Yeah, we can definitely tease that. We can definitely make it any sort of story arc in the publicity sphere for sure. I would very much enjoy that. I believe that. I believe we are conspiring right here to some very serious crimes. So there is that.
Said earlier on, we got a branch in North Florida, Tallahassee. We also have a branch in Clearwater, and West Virginia.
And West Virginia.
Yeah.
I believe. Yes, I believe. Well, that I am going to be touring in the near future, or as we call it here, being snowbirds and driving south for the winter. And so we might very much like to make connections with your people in those locations to further our devious, seditious plans for destroying democracy.
Yeah. Going back to my little book again.
Yes, sir. Please.
Yeah.
The Great White Hope.
If anybody really wants a copy, they want a signed copy, as I said, buy it on Amazon because the post is quite expensive. But if you really wanted a signed copy, it can be done. My email is a.hope70@ntlworld.com.
I'm pretending to type that down.
No, you are. You're a good typer.
Thank you. But yes, if you could put that in the chat, maybe somebody could put it on the thing and scroll it across the screen or something.
I thought I just done that.
Okay, yeah. If you can do that, then we could do that, and then people would more easily see it.
a.hope70@ntlworld.com.
Is there a jingle? Could we sing that like a jingle? a.hope70@nlt.com. Yes, just like that.
Yeah.
Okay, say it again.
a.hope70@ntlworld.com.
There it is. You made it. You called it into the reality. There it is.
Yeah, there
Very
it is.
good, sir. Very good. That number again, a.hope70@ntlworld.com for your autographed copy of the Great White Hope by Mr. Alan Hope, a founding member of the official
in this book, you'll see the
Raving
Beatles.
Loony.
I actually work with Chuck Berry as well. He's in this book.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so I understand that you claim that you were bigger than the Beatles, and of course John Lennon famously said that he was bigger than Jesus, or they were bigger than Jesus. So I guess that makes you bigger than all of the Jesus Beatles put together.
I was bigger than the Beatles for one day, but you'll read about that in the book. But it says in the first time ever told.
Because he's wearing a white suit. He's like Johnny Cash was tied up.
Yeah, I met Johnny Cash.
Would wear the black suit and Mr. Hope with white suit.
First time ever told. What really
not a racial thing. Once again, not a racial thing. Not a racial commentary at all.
It says here, first time ever told. What really happened when the Beatles visited Aldershot in December 1961, and they only had 18 people in the room.
Were you one of them?
No, I was playing elsewhere next door. Just down the road. 300.
You had more people in that room, right?
Yeah. That's all in the book.
All in the book. Nice. Any other good books out there that you like?
Sorry?
Are there any other books that you like? And any influential books in your youth that meant a lot to you?
I do like autobiographies mainly. Don't particularly like fiction. Although I must admit, one time when I was in hospital for a little while, I read a lot of Enid Blyton books, and they were quite good. I don't mean Enid Blyton. I mean Agatha Christie.
Okay, I find it interesting that you're not so much of a fiction fan, and yet the Monster Raving Loony Party itself, it is I'm not saying it's fictional, but it has fictional elements, and you're using the idea of a fictional idea to push forth reality things. So I just find that a little interesting. Maybe it's not.
Now somebody online now is asking me now, Vermin, how much does the book cost?
Oh, good question.
The book costs £10. That's all. But
£10. Now, how much does a hen weigh?
Sorry.
How much is 10 pounds in U.S. dollars? Let's say.
I've got no idea.
No idea. Fantastic. No, I was referencing an old joke about. Hey, I got a hen weigh the other day.
No, I don't know that.
Oh, then you say, what's a hen weigh?
What's a hen weigh?
About 3 pounds.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, it would be about 6 kilograms, maybe. I just don't know. I'm not metric. Of course, I have been advocating for metric time for quite some time because I don't like the U.S. time. I don't like all that 60 minutes to the hour. So I propose we have 10 seconds to the minute, 10 minutes to the hour, 10 hours to the day, 10 days to the month, 10 months to the year, and decades are totally taken care of.
We've been advocating that for a long time.
Amen. Thanks for that, brother. Well, Janice McKenzie was asking if you had any favorite philosophers.
Only you.
Yeah, I think she's asking you.
I'm asking you. You're my favorite philosopher.
Oh, thank you. Oh, well, you're very, very kind. You certainly know how to suck up to a show host. So that's I can see why you've gone so far in politics, sir. Wonderful. Okay, well, I see we're like ticking away. I think we're going to clock in right at the hour. I mean, we've been going an hour, and it just has been so much fun.
Well done.
And so wonderful. And I know it's very late there, or it's a little late there, or it's definitely after midnight there, right?
1:30 in the morning.
It's 1:30 in the freaking morning, and we are keeping Howling Laud Hope up. And so Howling Laud Hope of the Monster Raving Party, I want to thank you so much for being here with us this evening. and staying up late there in your time zone. And I certainly look forward to plotting and planning and working with the Monster Raving Loony Party on any projects that we can make happen internationally or locally. And thank you very much, sir, for all that you do.
Internationally, you mean looniversally?
I mean looniversally. Yes, I do, sir.
That's better. Well, thank you, Vermin and Desiree, for inviting me on. Thank you
Indeed.
very much. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Truly a pleasure, and I hope we can do it again. And we'll hook you up with all the links and stuff, and we can share it, and we can like and subscribe, and all of the social media things.
Okay.
And so, once again, friends, thank you very much. You have been watching Super Tuesdays. I'm Vermin Supreme, your host. This week we had Howling Laud Hope from the Monster Raving Loony Party. And come again next week, and maybe we'll have something else going on. We'll see how it goes. And don't forget, High Noon with Vermin Supreme every Saturday on YouTube at noon Eastern Standard Time, and Sunday on Twitch, same deal. And all the other crap, all the other crap we're always selling. Thank you very much. Loving y'all, people. Take care.
Vermin is my president.
Vermin is my friend.
Vermin is my president.
I got a friend in Vermin.
Vermin is my president.
Vermin is my friend.